The Nintendo Game & Watch, Nintendo's first iteration of getting into the foyer of video games and consoles and really getting into that kind of playing field. And this thing has been re-released today. I don't know what the date is today. We're going to take a look at the Nintendo Game & Watch. I'm going to give you impressions on how this is. There's a lot to unpack with this because essentially what this is a reiteration of what came out 20, 30 years ago. Let's get into it. So let me get into this. Let's be quite honest. The box is absolutely impressive. It's absolutely beautiful and wonderful. On the front, the nice thing is that you have a protective hanger with a nice little plastic protector. And what this protector is, it has a lot of cool graphics on it. So right here where it says Super Mario Brothers, it's on the plastic, as well as the Super Mario Brothers little screenshot that's on top of the game. On top of the Game & Watch, I'm sorry. The cool thing is that I'm really excited for is that this has a very Famicom color scheme. So if you like the Famicom, this is definitely your kind of thing. Taking a look on the side, it says SM35. I'm guessing that's going to be the actual code. And on the back, it tells you what's going on with here. So it says Super Mario Brothers. You have the lost levels. You have Ball and Time. Ball is basically one of the older Game & Watch games. But from what I know, this is more of a little Mario iteration of it. Going into Time, this is gonna tell you the time. The cool thing about this is that it's gonna be having new 2020 iterations of modernizing this old console. You're gonna see how cool this is. So let's get into opening this up. All right, already the protector slides off. Remember that there is a lot of, wow, there's a ton of beautiful graphics right here. So as you can see, on the front, you can see like the Super Mario Brothers level design. And what's cool about the actual Game & Watch box is that it has the ball game, but it also has Mario on the front. That's a very nice touch. And it says Game & Watch color screen, pantalla en color. There you go for your Spanish people. So remember that there are two, the way of opening it is with the tab right here. You just pop it open as soon as I can pop it open. Oh, this is very, very cool. So on the little tab, it says special thanks to you. And it has a ball caricature of Mario and Luigi. This is very nice detail. You can really tell this was something that is done with love. Unfortunately, I really hate how limited this thing is, but I mean, for what it is, it's going to be pretty awesome. I know it's going to be overlooked because of the PS5 and the Xbox, but if you can, try to get your hands on this. This is pretty cool. All supplies last. First things first, on my right, as soon as I pick this up, you get a USB-C cable. This is one of the cool iterations that I love. I have a huge problem with the old Game & Watch. I'm going to get into that a little bit later. This is a Nintendo official USB-C. This is a tiny one. This is something that I really like. Let's see if there's anything else on here. Okay, so you move the tab right here. Remove the tab. Out comes sliding. Is there any... Ah, there is a manual in here. Nice. Okay, so the user guide, it just tells you how to start this up. I don't know if this has any power. So it tells you the power button. You can connect this to USB-C and via an outlet, which is sold separately. We all have outlets. It's not that big of a deal. It's just mostly terms and agreements and all of that. I mean, if you want, I can read all that to you, but this would be an hour-long video, so I don't think you want that. Already, I can tell this has a little more weight than I'd actually thought it does. And it makes sense because there is an LCD screen, there is probably a battery that's housed in here, and then you have the USB-C. So right in here, the color scheme is wonderful. I would recommend getting a screen protector if possible. I can already tell. So this is a very cool thing about this. Let's move this out of the way. On right here, it has the Game & Watch logo, so it's very much reminiscent of the older one. It has the Famicom color scheme, which is something I very, very much enjoy. And it has 3 buttons on the right: game, time, and pause. I forgot how this works, so this is going to be nice to get into. On the left, it has a D-pad. This is a very nice D-pad. It is very, very reminiscent to the NES. So if you, in terms of both look and feel, so if you touch this feels almost exactly like a D-pad that you've known Nintendo for. On the right, you get 2 more spongy, what is it called? You get 2 more spongy buttons, a B and an A. and he's very curious on what's going on. On the right is you get a power button that has a USB-C cable right next to it. So that's a really nice thing about it. I know. You're a good boy. On the left, I'm sorry, I think this is a speaker. So this is kind of cool to have. It's nice that it has a dedicated speaker. On the back, I can already tell you something that's very interesting. On the old Game & Watches, they all had stands. That way you can put this on your nightstand and tell the time. It was more of a novelty that allowed you to play games and tell time before, you know, the NES days. So this is around 83, 84. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So let's try to turn this on. Does this have battery? This does. Wow. Look at this. The screen is beautiful and it's bright. It's amazing. All right, so it says press time button. Oh, that is very nice. So I'm guessing you set the time from here. So by pressing time, you get to cycle through different Mario levels right here. So that's a very, very nice thing. That's awesome. So you can also press pause. You can lower the volume or you can raise it. So pause is what's going to let you raise or lower. On the bottom, when it comes to brightness, you can lower it or set it. And then below that, you can set the time. I don't know if this accounts for daylight saving time, but it's a cool feature nonetheless. You press game, and this is a cool feature. That's what we're going to get into. You can select 3 games. Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 2, or The Lost Levels as it came out in the US, and Ball. I know, he's very curious at what I'm doing. So let's see, I'm gonna try playing a little bit of Super Mario Brothers 1. I want to see how good this is. Wow, this feels very good. This is exactly how it's supposed to feel. It sounds amazing. I'm very happy with the quality of this, honestly. Screen is very nice and bright. I don't know how many nits the screen is, but it seems like the screen can get pretty bright. I think the novelty and what makes this nice is that it has USB-C. A problem that I really had playing the older Game & Watches is the fact that it used one of the older watch batteries and they drained extremely quickly. And my problem with that is that the novelty of it just kind of killed it for me, because if I had to keep putting new batteries in, it just made the whole thing kind of defunct in itself. So that was something that really bothered me. And the fact that this is USB-C, it is a Nintendo official build quality. It plays really nice and it looks great. I don't notice any faults with the screen. It looks very well done. I don't know if this is an emulation or what kind of version of Mario Brothers 1 this is, but it's still very cool. So when you press the pause, you can go and you can raise the brightness, lower the volume. If it's too loud, that's fine. And the screen can get really, really bright. What's nice is when you put the pause button on the top right, it has a battery indicator. So it lets you know how long the battery is going to be. Very nice touch, of course. So when you select game, you can go into Mario Brothers 2. So let me see how that works. This game is obviously the more difficult one. I've not played Mario 2 actually. Well, Japan's Mario 2, by the way. But it feels really comfortable. It's definitely nice. It's a novelty. This thing is definitely a novelty. So if you like having something like this, it's pretty goddamn awesome. Let's go into game. Let's go into Ball. So I actually am a sucker for the old Game & Watch games. So this is very, very nice. What's cool is that you can really see this in all different viewing angles. So if you're out in the sun, you can really have a good time playing outside, because I think a problem with the original Game & Watch is that you couldn't really see in the sun. Obviously, the backlit wasn't a thing back in the day, but I think this has really nice modern advancements that really make this thing worthwhile. I would absolutely recommend getting this for sure if you can. All right, let's get into Ball. Let's try game A. So how does this work? Okay, so left and right. You get to move Mario's hands and touch the ball. There we go. It's pretty cool. This is a nice little game, honestly. Oh, it's getting faster. Oh, I'm going to restart the game. And then I'm going to go to B. Ooh, B is crazy. So B instead of 2 balls. And in game A, you start with 3 balls in game B. Definitely a challenge. If you're looking for a nice little challenge, this is definitely nice. I'm going to be quite honest. I like stuff like this because the novelty of having something like this in your backpack, and, you know, let's say you're at the doctor's office. You're just waiting for something really quickly. You could pull out your phone, but you have this really nice, cool little device. You start it up, you play, you just get into the arcade game, then you get out. This is something that I'm really a fan of. So for me, it's a novelty, yes, but it's something that I could actually potentially use quite often. It's nice, it's sleek, it's compact. It's very nice to see a portable device that is very nice and compact, especially in 2020. I don't know why, it doesn't feel like that. At least, let's say in comparison to my phone, for example. So that's very nice. It's basically like a huge percentage of my phone. But let's do a little bit of size comparisons. Unfortunately, I do not have an original Game & Watch. I used to have one. I got rid of it because of the strenuous effort of maintaining it. But let's look at this in comparison to a Nintendo DS, so you can see these side by side. The side of this is pretty much a little bit more than halfway, almost reaching the full thing, but it's very, very slim, very, very compact. Basically is about the size, like half the size of a DS, which is very, very nice. You have this, you store this in your pocket. I would definitely like take this in. I unfortunately do not know how much the battery lasts. Maybe I can check in here if the user guide says how long the battery lasts. Okay, so couple things to note. Charge the system, and it has a 5-volt 200 milliamp power source. So I'm guessing this has 200 milliamps, which is not too much, but considering how small this is, it makes perfect sense. Okay, something to note. If you allow the battery to drain fully, or if you hold the power button down for more than 5 seconds, your current save suspend point may be lost. So it looks like if you hold it 5 minutes or more, or 5 seconds or more, I'm sorry, it will totally shut it off, and then it turn it on, does a hard reset kind of thing. So it looks like you turn it, oh, that is very cool. You turn off the power button, you just press it, turns off, turn it on, press it on the side, you go back into it. This is, okay, you know what, I'm going to be quite honest. I'm going to be using this quite a lot, because I'm the kind of person that sometimes I do like having the novelty of having something like a Switch on you. It's very cool, but having this, like, let's say you just need to wait for like a couple minutes and you don't want to wait for your Switch to kind of start up because it can be bulky. You have something like this, you take it out, you play it, and it works great. So for me, I'm going to be getting a lot of use out of this, and the novelty of having this, I think it looks wonderful. So I'm sure the question you guys have is this worth getting? And I think that is very, very dependent on who you're asking. This is a novelty through and through. You don't need something like this to tell you the time. We have our phone, I have a watch. Two things that tell you what time it is. However, if you want something that's easy to put in your pocket, to be able to take everywhere you go, just have something you can play quickly in and out, that's about it. It tells you the time. I think it's great for a lot of people, and the fact that it has modern implementations of 2020, an LCD screen, it has USB-C, which is amazing. That's one of my favorite things of this already, and it has a suspend, a hard reset, and turn on. I think this is one of my favorite purchases of 2020, just because of the novelty of this thing is phenomenal. I would absolutely recommend it. Unfortunately, I do know that these will sell out quickly. I don't know how long they'll be in the store, but I think the fact is that you can pick something like this up. It's very, very cool. Thank you guys for taking a look at this. If you're interested, take a look at all my videos. I do port comparisons of different video games. Also, if you can, you know what to do, like, subscribe, all of that jazz. All of my social media is down below, so feel free to let me know. And what do you guys think? Is this worth picking up? You think it's not too good? For $49.99, which is the MSRP, I think it's worth it. I think it's something that I definitely can really have a great time with this. So I'm very much looking forward to it. Thank you guys for looking at this video. I appreciate it. And let's take care.